Hello, and thank you for joining us for the Snohomish County Explore 4-H event, our annual open house event, this time completely virtual. If you're joining us live, we are going to invite you at the end of our presentation here to meet with clubs and project leaders and with youth that have joined us in some breakout rooms. And if you're watching on the web after the event, we invite you to contact us when you're ready to get started, or if you have any questions about anything we present today. Today, we're going to talk about 4 H. We're going to talk about what 4 H is, a little bit of the history. We're going to talk about the organizations that make up that national organization that is 4 H. We're going to talk about the 4 H advantage. We're going to talk about our volunteers and alumni, and we're going to have some videos that we created here in Snohomish County. And then we're going to talk about that national organization and structure just a little bit. And we're going to finish up with talking about Snohomish County 4 H, including just some brief information and some enrollment and eligibility information. And finally, the last slide here is going to be the contact information you have for us at the office. So before we get started with that, I want to uphold some of the traditions that 4-H has had forever, and that is starting clubs and events with the Pledge of Allegiance and the 4-H pledge. So we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance next. And I'm going to hold off on the 4-H pledge for a couple of slides. I thought I'd tell you a little bit about 4-H before we do the pledge. So please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for joining us for that. This next video, it's a brief video. I think it's a good way to kick off that conversation of what is 4-H. This is a video from a national organization, and it just has a little bit of background and history, and I think they say it so much better than I ever could.
It began with the seed of an idea. In 1902, the Heartland needed folks to embrace new advances in agriculture. But leaders with open minds, strong hearts, and willing hands weren't in abundance. Luckily, kids were.
By empowering the next generation to lead, 4-H took root and grew and grew and grew.
Grew kids who are confident and strong, who are curious enough to question, and capable enough to find the answer.
You stick to a job until the job gets done. You know how to work with others and how to lead.
4-H has kept right on growing. Out of the farms and into the towns, from the suburbs to the cities.
Anywhere curiosity roams, then confidence thrives. Anywhere technology can be advanced and achievement is valued. Anywhere positive change is possible, and giving back moves entire communities forward.
When you think about it, it makes sense that we began with farming. After all, true leaders aren't born. They're grown.
All right, so talking about 4-H, this is a great quote from our national organization. In 4-H, we believe in the power of young people. We see that every child has valuable strengths and real influence to improve the world around us. And this is a part of our mission statement. 4-H empowers youth to reach their full potential, working and learning in partnership with caring adults. And we do this through research-based hands-on experiences. And those hands-on experiences are delivered through amazing mentors. And these are our large volunteer base that we have. The hands-on projects are based on youth interest. If you have a creative arts interest or an animal project interest or robotics, those hands-on projects are tailored to fit those interests. In addition, 4-H provides those meaningful leadership opportunities for youth. and it uses an essential elements framework. And this 4-H essential elements framework right there, it's a clickable link. So go ahead and click on that in the comments or in the PDF if you are seeing this on the web. The 4-H, one of the first questions we usually get, what are the 4-H's? What is 4-H? And the 4-H's stand for head, heart, hands, and health. And these are the values, and this, we're going to show you the 4-H pledge in just a second here. These are the values by which we kind of direct and guide how we operate in 4-H. So we're going to go ahead and say the pledge now. Feel free to say it along with us.
I pledge my head to clearer thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living, for my club, my community, my country, and my world.
So that pledge that you just heard, that's what 4-Hers memorize very quickly and recite at every club meeting and event. And these values guide them as they traverse their 4-H career from clover bud all the way up to graduating. So who is 4-H? Who makes up this large 4-H national organization? Well, at the top level, we have the National Institute of Food and Agriculture, or NIFA, and that's a part of the United States Department of Agriculture. And they partner with the National 4-H Council, the nonprofit arm of the 4-H national organization. From there, every land-grant university in every state gets funding for the 4-H. And for us, that's the Washington State University extension. And then they partner with state and county governments. So if you want to go down the chain, you have USDA, NIFA, National 4-H Council, Washington State University, and then the Snohomish County governments. And then it goes even further than that to local partners such as schools and homeschool groups, nonprofit organizations. So when you're really looking at this formalized structure that makes up 4-H across the nation, I think it takes a village is definitely a good saying here. So much put into building and making this fantastic youth development organization. When we're talking about the 4-H advantage, why 4-H? There's so many organizations locally, nationally that provide youth development, but I think 4-H has a few distinct advantages. And the first is our amazing volunteers. So 4-H has certified volunteers that are trained, provided continuing education every single year. We also make up a lot of the volunteers are alumni who came from 4-H programs themselves. They're very dedicated and passionate about the 4-H program. A lot of our volunteers are often industry experts in the area that they're mentoring. We have engineers, we have performing artists, we have ranchers and veterinarians that are all offering that mentorship and that experience to our 4-H youth. And I can say this without hesitation that 4-H volunteers are the most caring people I've ever worked with personally. So they're really, really great. But I think better than me telling you that, we have created this video that you can hear from the volunteers themselves, why they do this and why this is important.
I don't think we would have a program without volunteers. I think that the volunteers are what make the world go around. I mean, what I got at 4-H is more than anybody could put into 4-H.
Actually, the whole 4-H organization is based upon the principle of volunteerism. So without the volunteers, we'd have a much smaller and less significant 4-H program.
I think it's essential, and it really takes the village. I kind of keep coming back to that with a lot of my kids. When I look at the families that I'm working with and the youth that I work with, it really does take a village. It just helps be there for the community, be there for the kids that come through, helping their parents through hard times, helping the kids through hard times. So I think it just takes a village to really help cultivate good people.
I think it's really important that people have positive role models in their lives. Josh Shipp, who did a TED Talk presentation, talked about the importance of one person, and sometimes people only have that one person in their life, and sometimes it's not a family member, sometimes it is a mentor, a teacher, a friend's parent. So my goal is to be that one person for as many people as I can be, for those people who need just that one person to lift them up and to help them to reach their full potential.
It's just the faces and the smiles, and I have kiddos who have reached out to me and said, I have to be in 4-H because you're in it, and so that is all the reason for me to want to stay.
It actually kind of fulfills a lot of different things for me. As far as volunteering with 4-H, it's neat to see the kids as they kind of grow up and progress, learn new things, as they really show off what they can do. It's just neat seeing them evolve from kind of these little kids to these fantastic adults. And even seeing them as they move on and they get jobs and they start their own families and they come back and start volunteering themselves. It's pretty cool to see how you can impact a person's life and then they impact others' lives in such a nice way.
I gain personal satisfaction from when I see 4-H youth and 4-H leaders complete tasks successfully. And I enjoy being part of the 4-H family. I feel that there's a camaraderie and a definite support network within 4-H.
I enjoy the interaction I get with the youth. When I first started doing this, I started as a mom doing it for my kids, and then I ended up going into leadership because I saw the impact that it had on individuals, and I saw the impact that it had on kids.
And I feel that I benefit from the leader training that's offered by Extension in the areas of leadership, conflict management, time management, etc., that would benefit me in my career as well as with day-to-day interactions.
Definitely learning how to work with a lot of different personalities, and it's not just the kids, it's also the adults. So it's working with the kids successfully as well as working with parents, and sometimes being kind of a bridge between the two. I've definitely learned a lot about conflict resolution. I've learned a lot about some other kind of more sensitive and difficult topics like anxiety and depression in teens, and how that can greatly impact them in their lives.
I really enjoy the kids. I really specifically enjoy performing arts because it teaches empathy in such a natural way, because you have to come in and put yourself in someone else's shoes. If you're taking on a character, it might not necessarily be your character. I believe that when we contribute to other people, it makes us happier, it gives us purpose, and I think that's something that we can all use.
It is strictly a youth development organization. We're preparing these youth to be functioning members of society, and they're encouraged to be empathetic, open-minded, inclusive, non-judgmental, and there's a firm no bullying policy throughout the organization. So members can feel that they can open up and speak their mind in a safe environment without fear of recrimination.
in that group dynamic, it's really important for 4-H that the kids have a part. So a lot of times it's asking the kids, what do you want to do? How do you want to grow?
And once I got involved, I really enjoyed seeing the basis behind 4-H, their foundation and what they believe in, how they encompass the community, the youth, each other. It wasn't just about a program, it was about investing into children, investing into futures, investing into lifetime commitments. I've seen kids grow up and stay involved in 4-H, and I've seen the impact and the changes that it's made in their lives. So therefore, it just became something I enjoyed to be a part of, and I've stayed with it.
One thing that I really love about 4-H is that it has not discriminated in any way at all. It's just not brought in things that could possibly be discriminatory. And that is something that was just like, oh, I really want to be part of this.
And also 4-H has something for everybody. When you initially think of 4-H, you usually think of the traditional 4-H activities or involvement, such as cows and pigs and horses and sewing and cooking. But 4-H has really expanded recently beyond those parameters and offers things like robotics, performing arts, archery, KVs, photography. So there really is something for everybody.
I also want every kid to have their chance to shine. And sometimes it's the kid who people walk up to me and say, you can't cast that kid. He's a terrible, terrible little boy, who is the one who shines. You know, because he has that moment where he actually gets to matter.
So much out of 4-H as a youth that it was an easy decision to make to come back to 4-H and help out.
So another of our amazing advantages in 4-H are our alumni. As you heard from RA there, a lot of our alumni come back to volunteer. And a lot of it is because they recognize the impact that 4-H had on our lives. What's great about the alumni that go on out into the world is they continue to spread the great word that 4-H is. They go to the university and workforce and they do this. And they are our shining examples of how great of an impact 4-H has had on our upcoming leaders. So I wanted to give you a chance to hear from one of our fantastic alumni here from Snohomish County 4-H.
The most valuable lesson or skill I learned through 4-H is the mentality of always thinking someone is watching. Whether that be a judge, a visitor at the fair, a younger member, or peer, I always want to set a good example. 4-Hers stand out because we have the eagerness to help others, we immersify ourselves in the mission, we're devoted to being team players, we have an affection for hard work, and we present ourselves and our projects proudly to the best of our abilities. I know how to envision success and research the resources that can help me achieve those goals. I ask questions and inquire for feedback from peers every day because that's what I learned to do in 4-H. I have the courage to walk into any arena, room, class, meeting, experience, or stage with the confidence knowing I can do anything I set my mind to. I graduated from 4-H 2 years ago now, and I never in a million years would have dreamed where I am today, and I have 4-H to thank for all of it. There are 4 ways in which my 4-H involvement has definitely helped me along my path thus far. The first is that 4-H taught me to see challenges as opportunities. No matter what position I hold, I always view myself as a leader who has the ability to influence my future and the future of others around me in positive ways. The Second is that I have a passion for working with my hands. And maybe it isn't always in tangible ways, but I love to fully immerse myself and get my hands dirty in all experiences I'm involved in. In my 4-H community, I had the opportunity to observe the results of my willingness to work hard and the perseverance to deliver exceptional results and meet my goals. And those are definitely the characteristics that set 4-Hers apart from others in the so-called real world. As my final year of 4-H concluded, a big fear of mine was filling that void that 4-H had previously filled. And I went off to university with this desire to seek a community, continue to serve and learn about my world, and to invest my time in programs and opportunities where the people around me educated and inspired me in meaningful ways. The fourth would be that I crave making the best better, and I'm consistently searching for new ways to do so. I have no doubt that 4-H is the organization that engraved that mindset within me. I have the courage to stand up for myself, what I believe in, and what I want to do every day. My advice to today's 4-Hers would be to seize as many opportunities or experiences as you can. The awesome thing about 4-H is it definitely offers us more opportunities than we probably have the time for, but the more diverse experiences we engage in, the more we discover about ourselves. Never be afraid to try something new. The atmosphere of 4-H has a tendency to always make the environment feel like home, and that's because we're all on the same team and we gather with the same goals to serve our club's community, country, and world. There isn't a better group of people to challenge ourselves with than our 4-H families. I promise that 4-H will do everything they can to open the doors wider for you. It's your job to show up every day and make the most of your time as a member in the program.
Well, there you have it. Just one of those 4-H advantages, these amazing alumni that we can often depend on to become mentors, to come back and mentor the new 4-H youth coming up. A little bit about National 4-H. This is a national organization that helps support local programming. And they provide some really high quality learning resources for clubs and program leaders, as well as for families. And I wanted to talk about just one link really quick. This is the 4-H at home. Now this was born out of the pandemic, the COVID-19 crisis. And it's a fantastic resource for both our club and our program leaders and our office, but also for families in 4-H. So I'm just going to click on this link really quick and show you. I'm getting ready to upload videos. This is the 4-H at home webpage, and this provides just a wealth of opportunities for hands-on activities at home. And you can just click on this link here, the little view activities. You can look by grade and you can look by topic. So if I'm interested in chemistry, I can filter and check out what hands-on opportunities are available. All right, let's get back to our slideshow here. Another fantastic national resource that I wanted to point you to is our Opportunity for All campaign. This is a national campaign that believes that talent is everywhere, but opportunity is not. So the national campaign aims to provide opportunities for all kids now. And there's a link there. Again, you can find that in the PDF on the website. But I'm going to show you just a quick video that summarizes this campaign and what we're trying to accomplish.
In 4-H, we believe talent is everywhere, but opportunity is not. And the gap this is creating between our kids is only getting wider. There are many causes, but it mostly comes down to race, what their parents earn, and where they live. This can mean less investment in schools, in after-school programs, and in community services. It's all made worse by unequal access to education, technology, healthy foods, and the mentors who inspire our young people. The recent pandemic has pushed some kids even further behind. It's time we provide opportunities for all our kids. It's time to invest in their potential so they can help our communities and our country thrive. Not in the future, right now. We believe nothing should hold a kid back. And if we all pull together, nothing will. Visit 4h.org today and join us.
So that's the Opportunity for All campaign, and it really is a very good example of something we focus heavily on in Snohomish County as well. It's a part of our strategic initiatives. We're working really hard to reach those youth who are underserved and who just need that connection with some quality mentors and peers that can help them in some really great experiences. The final national opportunity or programming that I wanted to point you to is the 4-H STEM Challenge. This is an annual program. The theme changes every year, and this year it's the Mars Base Camp Challenge. And this is an example of something that's happening nationally. It's a really neat take-home, hands-on kit to learn these STEM principles, and we're starting to adapt it. We're adapting it for this current virtual environment that we're living in. So if you're interested in participating or learning a little bit more, there's going to be a link here in the PDF that we're asking families who are interested in participating to sign up to hopefully receive a kit. They will be first come, first serve. We don't have a huge amount of kits, but we have quite a few. And at the beginning, the enrolled 4-H members are going to be prioritized. So if you're a family member in the audience, not necessarily sure about enrolling yet, but you're interested in this particular project, this STEM hands-on project, go ahead and click the link and fill it out, and we can connect with you if there's plenty, or if we have a lot of interest, we might be able to order some more. To participate, the kits are really like complete. Take it home, read the instructions. You can facilitate on your own, or we're going to have 2 live facilitated events on October 24th and October 31st that we would be happy to have you join in on. We will also have some pre-recorded facilitation videos that will be uploaded on our YouTube channel, and you can find out any more information about this particular experience there at that link. So this is just another, again, example of how these wonderful programming that comes out of national organization that partner with other universities, that partner with industry experts to provide this really high quality research-based, evidence-based experiences for youth in Snohomish County. Speaking of Snohomish County, let's talk a little bit about Snohomish County 4-H. So in the 2019-2020 enrollment year, we had over 1,000 youth active and over 364 adults. Those adults have over 3,000 combined years of experience in 4-H. That is amazingly experienced mentors that 4-H youth have access to. We have more than 70 clubs in Snohomish County and over 30 different interest areas that youth can participate in, including animal science, veterinary science, STEM, robotics, computer science, engineering, visual and performing arts, archery, riflery. The list goes on and on and on. So if you don't see something you're particularly interested in that very tiny little list that we included on this slide, feel free to contact us at any time and we'll help connect you with something you might be interested in. How do I join? I hope that after watching this whole presentation, that's your question, your burning question on your mind right now. There's a couple of different ways to participate in 4-H. There's the traditional club participation, and that's where you take your interest areas and we match it to a club that offers that project. So if I'm interested in expressive arts, I would call the office or look online and find a club that matches that interest area. Another way to participate are group activities. A lot of these things are school or community based. They might be one-time projects, or short-term projects that last a few weeks. The best way to find out about these is call us, check our Facebook, check our website. A good example of a group activity would be the STEM Challenge. That's an activity that's open to 4-Hers and public members. It's going to be short-term, and it's a really fun activity to get started with. Eligibility, 4-H is open to youth ages 5 through 18. But you have to be 5. A youth has to be 5 by October 1st of the program year. And our program year starts October 1 to September 30th. So if we have a youth that's 5, that turned 5 on or after October 1st, they're ready to go. Sorry, on or before October 1st. The fee is $30 for youth to help cover program management and overhead. And sometimes the clubs might have dues as well on top of that local and state fee. We do encourage clubs to engage in fundraising activities to assist with this charge, however. If the $30 fee gives anybody pause, if you're concerned about it, please know that Snohomish County 4-H Council has provided funding to provide scholarships to those youth that have any hardship. Getting a scholarship is as simple as asking, calling, sending us an email, and we can help you with that. Group activities may or may not have a fee, and that kind of depends on the activity. Again, check our website or contact us for information if you're interested in a group activity and need to know if there's a cost associated with it. Okay, one quick thing before we head off onto our contact information and then send you off to learn more. Again, one of our main advantages in 4-H is the amazing volunteers that we have. 4-H is a volunteer-driven organization, and we need quality volunteers from diverse backgrounds with diverse skill sets and interested. So we wanted to put this out there. If you're interested in volunteering, we would love to help you start that process. We will walk you through the application process. There's some online trainings, and then there's some other things that you need to do to get started if you want to be that certified volunteer that's working with kids. But let's say you're not really that interested in running a club, but you still want to help out. There's a lot of things that you can do. Being a guest speaker or a content expert at different clubs or projects. Maybe you want to help out with short-term projects. Maybe you really like the STEM Mars Challenge. That's fantastic. We definitely have administrative things that we need help with on a regular basis. So if you're interested in helping out 4-H in any way, shape, or form, please contact us. And the person to contact when we're talking about volunteering is Beth Wangan, our volunteer development coordinator. Speaking of which, I do not believe I introduced myself in the beginning. I am Ashley Hall. I'm the 4-H assistant professor here in Snohomish County. Kim Baker is our program coordinator. She's the one to email or call if you have questions about programming, or if you're interested in maybe adding a project to your club, or you need help with curriculum. She's your go-to. Christy Boyd, our 4-H secretary, is the whiz when it comes to enrollment questions, and she's going to be the one you email or call if you have if you needed a scholarship, or just about any question you have. Christy Boyd could probably answer or direct you to one of us if it's needed. We do have our website. We have a Facebook, and our fantastic youth advisory council, that's again that genuine leadership experience, has created a Instagram for us. So they keep that pretty updated, and they share some pretty awesome content on there. There's our link to our enrollment system. If you click in there and you start through the process and you get confused again, contact Christy Boyd and she'll help you out. So a little note before we finish up about COVID-19 for the current 4-H year. As of right now, we're not meeting in person. That doesn't mean we aren't meeting though. Participation in 4-H is continuing on, is pushing through. It's happening through virtual meetings like Zoom, through virtual collaboration projects such as like Discord and Minecraft. There's virtual contests that have been going on both locally and at the state level. And there's a lot of hybrid opportunities where kids have take-home kits that they're working with at home, and they're being facilitated through the Zoom environment. And our volunteers are constantly coming up with clever ways to keep kids engaged. So please don't let the current environment discourage you. Get acclimated. We'll help you out. We'll work with you on that. Plans are in the works to talk about reopening 4-H for that in-person experience, but of course, health and safety are the top priorities. So that's it for right now. I'm going to go back and, as I say goodnight, just have this office contacts slide up and say thank you for joining us. If you're joining us live, we're going to stop the recording and you're going to be able to meet with clubs and programs. And if you're watching later on, please feel free to contact us if you have any questions. Thank you so much.